have some great questions and some feedback. So also positive feedback is always welcome. This question is from Horacio. Can you see that in the Zoom chat?
The vocal fry question. So very interesting question. And Donald Miller, who is another researcher that figured out a lot of this stuff and passed away recently, was a dear friend of mine. He used vocal fry, and that's another any noise that you put into the vocal tract. Noises have like an infinite number of frequencies, so they will populate the resonances of your vocal tract, and then what you hear, you'll hear the peaks of those sounds that you put in. Vocal fry is another example.
But
I
let me just interrupt quickly because not everybody can see this question. So I'm going to read it. It says, "Hello, Kenneth. To get to the formants with Voce Vista, is it better to use a whisper than fry vowel, which I've seen other guests use on Singing Revealed? At least with vowel fry, I can't always see F1 and F2 clearly in the spectrum. Maybe I'm not doing the vowel fry right. Is it about generating a white noise and filtering with the vocal tract?"
It is about generating a noise that has a wide enough spectrum of frequencies from low to high. And to be completely honest, why do I use the whisper? Why did I start using the whisper instead of the fry? I had a health deterioration problem where my thyroarytenoids, the bulk of the vocal folds, started wasting prematurely. Apparently, it's genetic. They never could find a neurological cause for it or even a behavioral cause for it. And that caused my vocal folds to bow. It is very difficult to do a good vocal fry with bowed vocal folds, which is also why my voice is a little less clarion. It's a little breathier sounding. Some days it's a little bit better than others. But so I had to use another source. So I started playing more with a whisper. Now, in both cases, vocal fry or whisper, you have to do a good version of it. The, t-
Hmm.
the typical whisper is done with a high larynx to highlight the higher frequencies where most vowels are defined. And it's not what I wanted for classical. Typical whispers like this, E, A, A, very mouthy and spread in high larynx. I didn't want to use that one. So I developed this chiaroscuro whisper, which is a relaxed throat whisper, and it's a more internalized. It's actually the most soothing way to whisper possible. It feels like you're doing nothing. In fact, you can even pretend to be a ventriloquist. Don't move, feel like you're not moving anything almost, or not anything you can see. Or here's another silly one. You're in Zombieland until you get to the oh, where it is helped to have a little bit of lip rounding. It's like you're hardly moving anything, and the noise moves more into the vertical pharyngeal column and away from the front of the mouth. If I do the typical whisper, I will have raised my larynx and narrowed my pharynx. Curiously, if you do the chiaroscuro whisper, you will tend to get these pitches for those vowels. B-A-G-D-B-A-G.
And
And
now
then,
you're not going for pitch there, right? You're just
well,
making the vowel shape and sending air through. How does that work?
so that's a very good question because initially I wasn't. I was just trying to find the most comfortable way to whisper a good version of those vowels. And those were the pitches that came out when I got to the best chiaroscuro whisper. I assumed that everybody would have their own pitches because the assumption from science is that everybody's formant set varies per voice type. This is what I've always thought. It's what everybody's always thought. Surprisingly, I am finding that people, when they do the best set, are targeting the identifying frequency of those vowel colors from spectral tone color. And so people are targeting pretty darn close to the same pitches. That is news. And it may not prove to be true across all singers, but so far in the set that I've tested, it's been the case. So now to answer your question, now that I've learned that's the case, I've started using the pitch as part of the auditory target to help them find the best way to chiaroscuro whisper. I always put this caveat. I say, whatever you do, it's got to feel the best possible way to whisper. It should feel soothing and like you're not doing any pulling down or lowering work in your throat. You can use effects that take you more internal, so it's not so externalized. Like try a child fright, kind of I want my mommy, help me, mommy, or mischief, kind of pleased inside. Anything that will pull that more internalized, comfortable, and make it less mouthy. That's not the whisper we want. Notice the pitch is cleaner and clearer when I find the right one, whereas is a little bit more of a less clear pitch. It's more spread. And I'm using very gentle glottal clicks. Doing inhalatory clicks will also do it. That's all inhalatory.
And it's so fascinating. Look at, I don't know if I've been doing this at home while you've been talking about it, and I'm targeting the same pitches with, no, I'm not going for the pitch. I mean, maybe something's sinking in, but I'm hearing those intervals more and more. Anybody else out there listening, experiencing the same thing?
And let me give you this advice. If you open the mouth as you go to the more open vowels, that will pull the whisper out to your mouth more, like this. Leave the mouth very, don't open. You don't in speech, ah, you hardly move, right? You're not holding your mouth, you're just leaving it alone. Ah, ya, instead of ya. Notice when I do it this way with a whisper, I start hearing more of the complementary color. I hear more of that
Yeah.
The is in there, but the is in there too.
Yeah, we have some great questions popping up. So thanks so much for these wonderful questions, and thanks for this
So that
this.
somebody wants to know the pitches. I see Kim wants to know. Hi, Kim. It's
Uh,
B6, A6, G6. My keyboard doesn't go up that high. It's these are fives, but think B6, A6, G6, D6 for E, A, A, and then O, O, U is the B, A, G, an octave lower. And the is the D in between. I can do a whole scale with different vowels. Did you hear that? They're all vowel, you know, vowel identified frequencies to an extent. But you do have to find this very relaxed, soothing way to do it.
yeah. Yeah, I actually find that very beneficial as well, having people say, "Can you speak with a warm whisper?" Just to get them to relax in there. But it works quite well.